Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All praises unto Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, Rakakadash. Double honors unto the apostles of great millstone. Honors your brothers will be pushing their truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. So this is going to be a video going into the markets, going into the economy, and pretty much what you can see from this article here. The dollar, people ain't really messing with the dollar. These countries ain't really messing with the dollar like they used to in the past. And that's a beautiful thing, because we're closer. It means we're closer to our deliverance. Okay. See, when the Lord comes back, you ain't gonna have this thing of the dollar. Okay, they're gonna have, this whole system is gonna be set back up from scratch. But in order to get to that point, pretty much, you have to go through the different motions, the different events that have to take place, and part of that is the chip. And before you get to the chip, what's gonna happen, man? The dollar's gonna die off. Okay, and then they, obviously, wars are created as a result of our currencies falling apart, man. Okay, and you can see it. The dollar's no more. So what's going to happen next? It's going to be that war. Okay, so it says Russia shifts 100 billion of its reserves into the Yuan, yen and euro, as a great dollar dump. So this is Russia, which is supposed to be like a major player. When you go into the script, when you go into the Bible, it tells you that Russia, the Most High is going to drag them Russians into that World War III. Okay, the Most High tells you within the scriptures, within the book of Ezekiel, how the Lord was going to put hooks within their jaws. Now, this is right now what you're seeing there is just them moving, trying to not go into that war, but ultimately they're going to be forced into that World War III. Okay, which is going to go to fulfilling the scripture where it talks about how the Most High, he's going to put hooks within Russia's jaws, to bring him out into the World War III. Then you can go to any person out there that supposedly knows the scriptures, and they'll tell you that the Bible refers to the lands as well as it does actual areas of places. Okay, to expound upon that fact, when you go into the scriptures, it talks about Gog and Magog. And when you check out where that land is situated, all right, pretty much what you find out is that's where the Russians are today. Okay, and continuing on with that point, what you find out within the scriptures, within the Bible, you find out that Esau, went and took on the nations, the Javetic nations, the lands that they were living in, of which them Russians are Edomites too. Okay, they're Edomites too, so they took up them lands that Japheth ruled as well. So they're in that region right now. Okay, and they call the name of the land Russia, but guess what? The Most High is gonna put Edomites against Edomites. All right, when America puts the pressure on, because see, everybody can see this. They can see that the everyone's shifting away from the dollar, but people won't. And I'm not gonna put two and two together. That when you have a shift away from the dollar, obviously America's gonna have to start a World War III, because that's how the thing works, man. So let me read a few excerpts out of this, and then I'm gonna show you another article, that's relevant to this video. So continuing here, it says the Central Bank of Russia has moved further away from the reliance on the US dollar and has axed its shares in the country's foreign reserve to a historic low. This is the lowest they've ever had it, transferring 100 billion into euros. Japanese yen and the Chinese yen. And what's also nice about that is you can see that there's this thing of the euro, which is like what? That's the thing that nobody really, if you got the euro out there, you got Germany and that, they're going to be dealing with the euro, whatever. Well, check this out. Pretty much like what that goes to show you is that this is like the preliminary stages. I can't say that word, but this is the beginning stages of what? Of NATO and all of that being broken. I mean, it's already breaking up. The Brexit is the fulfillment of the scriptures, man. Okay, the Brexit is the fulfillment of the scriptures in that, you're gonna have this thing of NATO and that falling apart and breaking apart, but even more so than that, they're gonna come up against America. Okay, the scripture tells you about that. How the ten horns, is it the 10 horns that shall hate the whole? Okay, so what when you got it to where Russia is out there, they got their so-called money in euros. That goes to show you that they got a particular kind of partnership in that. If that makes sense, I don't know if I'm making sense at home, but if you put your money somewhere in someone's house, that means you ain't necessarily gonna go to war against those people. So they're gonna have certain alliances, man. I mean, I don't know too much of the geopolitics. That's not really my field, but I'm doing my best. So it says Japanese yen and Chinese yuan. The share of the U.S. currency in Russia's international reserves portfolio has dramatically decreased in the just 3 months between March and June 2018. All right, from 43% to a new low. This is the newest low, right? According to the central bank's latest quarterly report, which issued its 6-month lag. And remember, there's all kind of sanctions on this, so they've had to move away. So you can see this. They're trying to avoid this thing of the World War III. Okay, they're trying to work around the so-called sanctions, war-like sanctions that America's put upon them. But guess what? The Most High said it's going to happen, so it's going to happen, man. All right. Still got plenty of time. So it says money pulled from the reserve dollar was redistributed to increase the share of the euro to 32% and the share of the yuan to 14% and another 14.7%. Right, in other currencies, including the British pound, 6.3%, and so on and so forth. So it gives you the breakdown there. But what's the what do they have? Just out of interest, what do they have that? So 32%. Okay, of the euro to 30. Yeah, so it looks like they got most of their shares out there in euros or whatever. But pretty much that's that article. Let's go on to the next one. Okay, China's yuan to challenge the greenback as the world's main currency. And this is like beautiful news right there, because if the Chinese yuan is coming up to threaten America as the main currency, well, I don't have to remind you what happened with Gaddafi when he tried to have a gold-backed currency. Okay, they blasted his ass, man. All right, they got rid of it. This dude. All right, so pretty much when you have a situation where the dollar's being challenged, usually a war breaks out, and this is certainly what's happening out here. Okay, China's yuan to challenge the greenback, and why is that happening? Because you got it to where Russia's buying in, and all these other different countries are buying into it. All right, it says the U.S. dollar may become the U.S. dollar may one day be rivaled by the Chinese national currency, rivaled rather more by the Chinese national currency, which is likely to become the major global currency, according to the governor of the Bank of England. All right, I think it is likely that we will ultimately have reserve currencies other than the U.S. dollar, and I just showed you how that ties into the other article. All right, the U.S. top financial official claimed during an online question and answer session. All right, so, I mean, like I said, you saw what they did out there to Gaddafi, and how they blasted this dude out off the face of the planet. What do you think? What do you think is gonna happen when, I mean, you already got it to where Trump's talking about, China and this, that, and the third. What do you think is gonna happen when all of this comes to play, man? Okay. It's gonna be a war-like scenario, man. That's why we keep on saying Trump's gonna be the guy he's gonna be the guy that does the job, man. Okay, pretty much with that, hopefully that was of edification. You can see things are moving fast, man. Okay, things are moving, prophecies are coming to pass, and it's a beautiful time that we're living in. You might moan and complain on that, but really it's a beautiful time because you can see the promise of the Lord, man. Okay, so with that, I'm going to say all praise unto Yahweh, Hashem, Yahshua, Waraka, Kadash, double honors unto the apostles of great millstone. On the sheep brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity. Shalom.